Hello, it's Kim Jolene with Finding Your Fiji, and I'm here doing our Aries reading for October 2016. So I'm an Aries also, so fellow Aries, so I'm always curious to see what's coming ahead for us for this month. And I have to say I've got a new deck that I'm going to be using, which I absolutely am in love with. So I'll be using the Archangel or the Angel Tarot deck, as I always do, which is a deck I love. Then we'll be using Archangel Michael. And then the new deck is a Stephen Farmer deck, and this is Power Animal Oracle cards. So excited about that and ready to get going. So I have to laugh. When I pulled this card as our theme of the month, I'm like, oh, I'm not loving this. So this is the Five of Air card, and air cards are all about the head, kind of what's going on upstairs, you know, intellect kind of things. And this Five of Air is really about, you know, having made a choice that wasn't the best and needing to learn what we can from that situation. So I'm like, it was like, that's our theme for the month, come on, right? So I'm hoping we get some more, better information. But the key is really about, you know, remembering that everything happens for us and that there's always learning to be had within it. And then part of this card too is, you know, it is a little bit of a conflict card in that, you know, it's kind of about looking behind the scenes. And, you know, sometimes us Aries, we like to really think the best of everyone, and then as it turns out, you know, sometimes that's not the way it turns out. Like, they don't have our highest and best interests in mind, other people sometimes. And so that's where, you know, us as Aries, if we're too trusting, then that can be where we maybe make an unwise choice or a decision that doesn't turn out well. So really taking a look and feeling, the big piece about this, Aries, is feeling, you know, what does this feel like? Regardless of what it looks like on paper or on the surface about a person, like, what does that feel like to you? Because you get that intuition or that guidance, and, you know, something might feel off, or it's just like, yeah. So pay attention to that. That's kind of our big key for this month, is about paying attention. And the more you pay attention, the less we have to deal with this making bad choices, right? So hopefully we'll learn something in the month of October, right? All right. So let's see what else we have going. I'm hoping there's some other good, juicy things that are going to be happening in this month for us. I'm sure that there will be. All right. So we're doing sort of the past, present, future, and we've got the Nine of Air. Oh, you guys are not going to love me this month. I don't know. It's just one of those months. So we have Nine of Air. And the air cards, again, are all about the head, the intellect. And here's what the message is around this. And this is really about, you know, when you get into that space where you start thinking negatively, then that is what you end up manifesting. And you don't sleep well at night and, you know, all of that kind of thing. We have control of our mind, folks. We can shift this. We can change this. You don't have to choose those thoughts, right? You can shift to something else, and the important thing is to keep your vibration high so that you don't get into that negative spiral of thinking, okay? That's kind of, you know, what can sometimes happen is that you get in that negative spiral of thinking, then that gives you another thought that matches that or is lower, and then you're going down and down and down, right? Yeah, so don't do that. Like, keep your vibration high. So I just, before I came to do this reading, I went for a long walk. It's a beautiful fall day here in Minnesota. Absolutely gorgeous. Like, you couldn't even ask for a better day. It was just beautiful. So taking a walk, you know, that helped with my vibration, raising my vibration, because I have a heck of a lot of work to do putting together these videos and editing them, loading them, you know, doing all the behind the scenes stuff. There's a lot of work involved in that. And it's, you know, I needed to take that break to go outside and walk to get back my vibration back high so I could do these readings in a in a state of love and joy, right? That's what we want. Okay, so that's kind of, and that's a past card, the Nine of Air. So I feel like that's something that had been happening, and we're pulling out of that now, like enough of that, right? Okay, and then we have Four of Fire, which I like better. I like this card a lot better. So the fire cards are all about passion and action, and I also feel like they're related to fame, and the four is related to abundance. So I had made a little snafu on my Bagua. So if you watched streams before where I've commented on the numbers, I had made an error. We all make mistakes, right? We're human. So the 4 is actually the number for wealth. And so I always like that, you know, I like to kind of correlate those things. And we have the 4 of fire here. The 9 is actually related to fame. So that would be in the center and the top there in our Bagua, right? And if you're not familiar with Feng Shui at all, I do have a video. Oh, which reminds me, I'm going to put that link in down below. So I do have a video, Feng Shui video, that kind of just gives you the basics about Feng Shui and, you know, what is a Bagua and how does it relate and all of that. And that's a great thing to watch if you don't know anything about Feng Shui, because I will throw in Feng Shui things as we do readings, just because that I am an expert in Feng Shui as well. So, so the 4 of fire, this is about, I can't recall if I showed this to you. 4 of fire is about, you know, passion and action, of course. That's the fire card. And this I feel like is about contented, you know, it's that sort of balance, right? And it's about contentedness, and it's about, you know, a family balance, if you will, right? And the other piece that comes through around this is a little bit of magic around, okay? So this I like a lot better than some of those other cards, right? So, than the 5 of air cards or the 9 of air. And of course, we're a fire sign. So we, you know, I am, of course, more drawn to the fire cards anyway, but we have a little bit of magic in the air, if you will, around that. And the other thing that's coming through with this is you're going to be able to complete a project that's been something that you've been working on, and that's going to feel good to you, okay? Getting that done is going to feel good as you proceed through the month of October. That is going to be something you're like, oh, I've been meaning to do this, I got it done. You know, whether that's a home project or a work project or what that is. But again, it's about, you know, it's about balance and about, you know, that family, happy family life, right? And then we have the Eagle, which is Archangel Jophiel. And of course, Jophiel is our Feng Shui angel. So I love her. Here she's talking, however, with us about having that sense of feeling like we're trapped. And that's always an illusion. You're never ever trapped. You're never ever stuck. But sometimes when you get your mind in that spirally place where you're heading downwards, you feel that way. You feel like there's not a way out. You feel like how can this shift? Well, it can shift like that. Like literally snap your fingers and you can shift things so quickly and easily. So what Archangel Jophiel wants to bring in around this is that you've got to stop focusing on the material stuff, okay? And really, when you let go of that, then you can really get in the flow of things, okay? So when we're overly attached to material things, like, you know, money coming in, or you know, specific like new car, or, you know, new clothes and different things like that, when you get attached to that stuff, then it shifts things in a way that is not it's not serving your higher purpose or your highest self. And not to say that you can't enjoy those things. Of course you can. And of course we want those things if we're honest with ourselves, right? We would love to have a life of luxury and opulence. At least I would. You know, it's different for everyone probably. But that's, you know, my, I didn't come here to settle. I came here to live, you know, a bright, vibrant life that I really enjoy. And that feels really good. So what they want to say around this is you have all the tools. So you have all the tools that you need to get yourself out of this false entrapment, right? You have the tools. You know what to do. And it's just a matter of stepping through that porthole, right? Stepping through that and letting yourself back into the world that you really, really want, okay? So yeah, it's interesting because I when I was walking, I noticed a car driving down the road, and this car was not in good shape. It, you know, their windows busted out of it, and well, I don't know if it's busted out. Maybe they just had the windows rolled down, whatever. But dented up and just making a lot of noise, like the car was making a lot of noise, right? That type of thing. And I thought, God, that's not what, you know, that's not an existence that I would wish for. And not that that person wished for it, but to know that you actually have control and you actually can shift things to create whatever you want. Doesn't matter big or small. It's not the size of the thing at all. It's the mind shift, right? That is the deal. Okay, so we have Archangel Michael, and let's see what he's got for us, for my fellow Aries. Okay, I'm gonna set that one like that. All right. So here's Decide to Be Happy Now. I love this card because you are in control of how you feel. No matter what is happening around you, you have a choice. You have a choice as to how do you react to that, and you have a choice to what kind of energy you bring to everything. So bring joy, right? Be happy. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. You can be happy in this very instant right now. And that's what I choose. I choose happiness. It's just that, you know, making the shift to doing that makes a world of difference. So deciding to be happy is a beautiful thing. And then God is in charge. So part of, you know, what can happen sometimes, and especially as us Aries, like we're leaders, you know, we don't necessarily care if anyone's following us, but we're leaders, we charge ahead, we've got that fire energy, right? But sometimes we get way too attached to the outcome, okay? And so what you need to realize is that you might have an idea of how things should go or what's in your highest and best interest, and you don't necessarily know. Okay, so you have a higher wisdom, of course, you know, that higher self, you have God, source, whatever it is you believe in, the universe, whatever it is that, you know, higher power that you believe in. And, you know, you wouldn't be watching this if you didn't believe in some higher power. You just wouldn't be drawn to this, right? So you believe in some sort of higher power, right? And to know that that higher power and your higher wisdom, your soul self, as I like to call it, knows what's in your best interest, right? And is able to direct you if you just let yourself be led and, you know, and understand that you don't always know what's best for you and follow the guidance that you're getting, then things are so much easier. And letting God be in charge, life is much simpler, let me tell you. Like, it's not stressful. When you let yourself be led, then magical things happen. Just amazingly magical things happen. So, and it does take a shift sometimes to get to that, okay? So you may not be there yet, but we're planting a seed, right? We're planting a seed for you that, you know, you in your physical human form are not in charge. Your soul self, your higher wisdom, God, universe, source is in charge, right? And they know better than you do the beautiful, magical things that can come to you, right? And they can help orchestrate that. Okay, so we need to forgive ourselves, Aries. We need to forgive ourselves because we haven't done anything wrong, okay? So whenever you get into a space where you are sort of kicking yourself or like, oh, why did I do that? Or why didn't I do that? Or, you know, whatever the case may be, it doesn't serve anyone, least of all you. It just doesn't. So part of what they want you to know around this is that forgiving yourself is an act of love, okay? So when you forgive yourself, you are loving yourself, right? And that's the, you know, the most important person to love in your life is you. So that forgiveness is an act of self-love, right? So I just encourage you, whatever you feel like you did wrong, whatever you think you should or shouldn't have done, it's all okay. It's perfect. It happened exactly how it was supposed to, right? happen exactly that way, you haven't done one thing wrong, okay? You really can't get it wrong. This is all learning, like us being here on this planet, living in a body, a spirit in a body, it's all learning. You can't get it wrong. You just can't, okay? So, that's what we have around that. Okay, so I'm excited to see what our power animals are for this month. So excited. I love these cards. It's always fun to work with a new deck for me because, you know, I work with a lot of different decks, but it is always fun to have a new and different one. Let's see, where's that card they want? They want that one. Okay. Right. So we've got Turtle. This is about retreat. So here's the thing, Aries. We lots of times like to be in control. Seems to be our little theme for the month, right? We like to be in control, and again, this card is about letting go. So when you try to force things to happen, you are actually pushing away the things that you want. Okay, you're pushing it away. It's repelling it. But if you just let go and just sort of float like the turtle, right? And the turtle, you know, they're very like, they barely move their, you know, whatever, I don't think you call them paws, but whatever, their legs, right? And they just move along, you know, they can move fast if they want to, but they just, you know, kind of move along. And so that's really what the lesson is for us with Turtle, is to really go within, you know, get in touch with what our soul self wants, right? What does our soul self and our soul wisdom have for us to guide us? And let go of forcing things to happen. That just doesn't, you know, stop trying to make things happen is the big key there, right? Because you're pushing things away. All right. And then Kangaroo is about gratitude. Okay, so when you get in a downward spiral sometimes, in a negative thought pattern, you can get in a place of like, oh, why me? Like, why aren't things turning out for me? You know, and it can be in a space of like seeing what other people are doing and what they have and what's going on for them, and feeling like you aren't as good, right? Or your life isn't as good as theirs. But Aries, you've got so many beautiful blessings in your life. You really, really, truly do have many, many blessings. So a big thing to do is to be in gratitude. So I do this in the morning as well as at night. So in the morning when I wake up, you know, stretch my body. I typically say, you know, now I'm going to draw a blank, of course, on what I normally say to myself in the morning. Today is a great day. I choose to live today with joy and love. Sometimes I'll say that. There's different things that I say. And then I go to gratitude. Like, what am I grateful for? And lots of times it's my bed. Like, that's the first thing. Like, oh, I love this bed, right? I love these soft sheets. I love this pillow. You know, I'm so grateful for my body. I love that I have a body that I get to use, right? My body feels good, and this is working well, and all of that. There's so many different things. And then at night, I actually write out 3 things that I'm grateful for from the day. And I will just pull, you know, it could be something small, it could be something bigger, you know, whatever it is, I bring forth that gratitude. So be grateful for what you're blessed with. All right. And then I like this card. I absolutely love this card. So this is Buffalo, and it's abundance. Yes. We got a good one, Aries. Abundance. This is letting you know that you are provided for in all ways. So you they have your back. Your angels and guides have your back, and you will have plenty of money to pay what you need to pay and to enjoy life as well. So that abundance is coming through in the month of October. It's almost like, you know, all the hard work that you've been putting in is finally going to pay off. Like all the little seeds that you planted are now coming above the surface. You can see them growing, and you're like, yes, yes, right? Things are growing. So That's what we have for you for the month of October, Aries. If you want more, I have deep dive readings available for a very small fee, less than a cup of coffee. And there's a link below. You can check that out. And those deep dive readings will cover in more detail, a lot more detail, your career aspects, your financial aspects, your love and relationships, and your health for the month of October. So go grab that, and make sure you got a notebook handy, because I do give action steps, actually physical things that you can do to help navigate your month that will help improve your flow, as it were. Lots of little, sometimes feng shui tips or other things that I give. So make sure you have a notebook when you sit down to watch that reading. And if you decide to join the membership, you actually get the audios as well, so you can re-listen to it during the month, which is awesome, right? Awesome. Okay. Take time to relax, have fun, and enjoy your life, Aries. Much love to you.